Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update on Ethereum. I know a lot of people have been asking me and talking about Ethereum, see what I think. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to be looking at Ethereum on the one-day chart. Ethereum right now is at 136.81. It's down 0.91%. And if you all could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate each and every one of you being here with me today. So what I'm seeing here with Ethereum, guys, is number one, we have a potential ascending triangle on the rise, and what we're having here, we're working in this zone. We're actually filling it up with some chop in here, guys, so there's not a lot of like white space in between. And what we would want to see is that these higher lows continue to come in, and then we have that flat top right up here, this horizontal line, as overhead resistance. Now what would happen is we would actually break through that, and it would make sense because that would also get us up above this 200-day moving average if this pattern were to play out. Remember, that's an if, guys. Patterns can always get busted. In ascending triangle, 30% of the time can go to the downside. That can happen as well. But typically when you do see those, there's going to be power. You're hitting up here, and then you come back down, you're hitting up again, and you're just hitting on that wall until you finally break through that, or you're either rejected by it. So that's where we're kind of getting in that pin down zone here for Ethereum, and we're going to have to see what happens. Are we going to go up here and test this 200-day moving average? Because right now we're up above this 20-day EMA in green, this moving average, and we're treating that as support for the time being. The candle today is looking a little ugly on it, but we have not lost it. So that's something we want to pay attention to, is the close today. We also, for support, we have our 50 moving average and our 100 moving average right underneath here, which is great. So that's good for support. We really want to pay attention to that, because last time when we came down here and tested this 50, we got a bullish engulfing candle off there, and we just continued to kind of move sideways, tried to push up again, but kind of moving sideways. So now we're just kind of getting in this tight zone to where we're either going to have to break up or we're going to have to break down. And with this long-standing trend line here, we would hope that this would hold. All right, this one that's been intact for a while now, for a few months, and we really want to see that hold. But with this 200-day moving average, that's where I said it's going to really have to make a decision, up or down, in the coming days or weeks to come. So really keep your eye out on that. So if we do end up having this pattern and we break out of that, the first area I would look is around that 176 is where we could potentially run to and see a little bit of overhead resistance. And if we're able to get past that, I would probably, guys, see us running to this point around that $218, because of how far and how fast and how sharp we fell. You'd almost make it up on that backside, because there's not a lot of support and resistance areas, because the falls were just so deep. I mean, look at these candles, guys. Those are massive candles, some of them almost like a Marabazoo candle. But you know, with Ethereum, those are the things that I'm looking for overhead. And then the bullish things, though, is that we're holding these moving averages. We're holding this lower trend line. You can also see this was a chart that I had up for a while. You can see this trend line that I had drawn, and we actually broke up out of that. And trend line breaks are very powerful, guys. You got to keep your eye on them. You can really make some profit on them. You know, sometimes you'll break out, and then sometimes you'll come back and retest the trend line and then move further. Sometimes you just break straight out and run. Other times you'll break up, and then you'll break down through the actual pattern itself. And all through all the candles itself, and break down through. So that's something you want to keep your eye out on as well. But pay attention to today's close. I think that's going to be a big deal. And let's also check out the RSI while we're at it. You guys tell me what you think. All right, and also look at this here. We want to pay attention to this. So right there, you can see how we have those lower highs that are taking place, and off this trend line here, we're seeing some rejection. So, you know, guys, pay attention. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down here and tested this around 127 at some point again, that 50-day moving average. Yeah, 126.97, somewhere right in that range. You know, I'd look for that. Our volume's still not looking the best, so we want to put that in the bearish camp as well. But, you know, guys, these are some of the things I was seeing. I just want to give you a quick update on Ethereum. This is what I'm looking for, and we'll see if that ascending triangle ends up playing out. God bless each and every one of you.